Hello guys, in this video we are going to cover fetch API in React.js. So fetch API, so this we will use it in use effect in this video. So it's a React hook. So in this video we are going to cover fetch API. Use state is a React hook and use effect is a React hook. So fetch API will accept only it only get the data from the HTTP or HTTPS. So let's flip to the Visual Studio, and here we can see we have created one app with high fetch data. So let's see it in the browser. Here we can see that, so it's a data. So now we are going to write the code here. So first we will start with the use effect React hook, and so we are creating one arrow function. So it's an arrow function. So in this arrow function, so we are going to write fetch API function. So it will accept one parameter, so that's only the URL. So it will accept only URLs as the parameters, so it will use it to get the data only. So for this one, so we have some dummy JSON URL. So this is the dummy JSON URL. So we can I will keep this one in the description or comment section. So in this one we are having the ID, title and all the JSON data to get the data. So we have a lot of data here. So let's see it in the Visual Studio Code. So I'm just copying this URL. So I'm just copy pasting it here. So then we write a then. So after getting the data, so what we will do is, so this response we are converting it into the JSON format, response to JSON format. So after we will conversion, so because we are already having it in a JSON format, so we don't know that what exactly it will be the format. So we are converting it to JSON format. After that, so we want to log this into the console. So then we are getting that response. So we are declaring it a JSON variable here. So we can declare it any variable here. So it's not mandatory to have a JSON. So any variable. So that variable, so we are logging it to a console.log.json. So now we can see it here. So console log.json. So let's flip to the code. So here we got an error saying that, so we have declared some capital J response, so it's actually a small letters. So now save it, and let's flip to the Visual Studio. So you can see it here. So no, there is no errors. Now we'll go to the console. So just go to the console. Here we can see that that's the previous errors. Now we got the data. You can see it in a number of arrays. So 1 to 100. So there is a lot of data is there. So we can say that, so we got the data from the API successfully. So we can see it here, lots of data is there. Let's flip to the Visual Studio Code, and we'll keep this one in the see, we have refreshed it here, and we got the data. So again we can open it and see it without any console errors. Let's we are flipped to Visual Studio, and we, instead of logging the data in the console, we want to keep this in an unordered list. For this one, so we'll create one constant variable and declare a data, and we have declared a set data function, set data to this, and we have used use state empty, and we want to so we have missed one empty array here in a use effect. So though we don't get an error, it's a syntactical. And now we are, instead of console log, we want to set the data to the JSON, so that, so we are just copying the data into the data variable. Now instead of that, we are declaring one UL. In this we are converting this data to map. So we are mapping it here. So this whatever the data we got from the URL, so this data we are mapping. So So the detailed video about this mapping and looping the data, so we have done previously. Just go to our previous videos and check it here. Now here we are declaring each mapped into a item, and each item we are creating one list item. So in this list item we are directly going to declare item dot title, so that we'll loop how many items are there. So it will loop it to a list, and we can see it here. So how beautiful it is and very faster. So it's a lot of data we are having, and to make it unique, so we are for each list item we want to display it as a item dot id from the json format. So it's actually very simple, guys. We have declared we are just looping it to a data using a mapping function, and looping each item in a whatever the array of data we got. And see, the total concept is very simple. Here we have declared one use effect function, use effect react hook. In this one we are declared a fetch. So this fetch will accept only the http or https